Return to the safety of home. Return to the internal world that only you have access to. Rediscover your soul, the source of life that is constantly there supporting you and healing you and returning you to your safe space. The soul remembers us even when the mind forgets. The body has a way of bringing us back. Even when the mind has lost its way, it goes to sleep, the body recovers itself, and then in the morning, things feel fresh. Things are renewed. This is the power of the soul to heal the body. By day, we use that energy and we interfere with the activities of the soul. And then at night, the soul heals us and rearranges all the information we've absorbed so that we can be prepared to face reality in the morning. And so let's return to that place, to that safe space within. The space where we are we, and there's no one else that can interfere. When we interact with the world, we can get confused with the world. The world is like a mirror. We see outside and we imagine inside. But now we want to come back to safety. Safety means that we're going to imagine ourselves and nothing else. And then we're going to remember how safe we really are. All the illusions, all the drawings, all the scenes, all the pictures, all the words, they're all imagined. If we wouldn't have seen, we wouldn't have imagined. It wouldn't have been, as far as we're concerned. In the ancient world, without all the technology, we wouldn't have known what we know. We wouldn't have felt what we're feeling. It would have been impossible. And so it's not real. We are creating it. We are imagining it. And now we're going back to our home, where we imagine ourselves and nothing else. And then we remember. We remember the body that we're dwelling within. We can feel the sensations more, we're more present. And then we can realize how what we have been imagining has affected the functions of the body. Different organs are behaving differently based on imagined information. Information we received from very reliable sources, and yet we are imagining those circumstances. We never experienced those circumstances. We have no idea. We can't know. And so, when the world is our mirror, and this is how we are used to living, then we take on the herd mentality. We are everything and everyone, and we constantly update who we are from the outside. But in times like these, we can see the danger of herd mentality is that we don't really have a self that's properly developed to come home to. And so this requires our attention, this requires focus, this requires awakening. And so now we're coming back to that safe place. We are remembering. We are remembering a place where we are we, not based on the environment, but based on how we were designed. We don't trust because of everyone else. We trust because the one who designed us perfectly. We trust his design. The things that seem to be going wrong in his design are related to the evil that still resides among us, as is now evident. And so when we will eradicate evil, the design will give us perfection, because the design is always perfect. It just gives us whatever it is that we vibrate. The heart is inviting the spirits. The condition of the heart, the emotions in that heart, the relationships of that heart are going to decide what is being invited into this heart, what type of spirits are going to come visit, from which areas, from which neighborhoods, from which galaxies are going to come the rays that are invited by this heart. And so to have the right vibration, we need to heal the heart. In order to heal the heart, we can't look outside. Outside is not well. We have to learn how to look inside. The heart looking at itself. In the beginning, it will look just like on the outside, because the heart has already been mirroring the outside. But then, if there is a remembering, then there will be a filtering. The outside will now be filtered for healthy and unhealthy until the heart can look at itself and only see healthiness. Then she is no longer threatened by the environment. She has a safe place to be where no one can interfere. The unhealthiness of the environment is no longer a threat because there is healthiness within. And then when she looks at herself, she heals. Healing meaning remembering more. When she remembers, she invests her life. She invests her life force, she invests her energy according to her design in a way that benefits the soul. Every moment we are creating our future. And so based on what we are developing, that's what we will have in the future. If we are only developing the external world, if we're only busy outside of ourselves, then that's the only options that we will have later on, because those will be the spirits that will be there to guide us. If we invest in getting to know the soul and getting to know the self more, in opening the heart and becoming one with the organs, then those angels can open for us the gates of heaven. Then the soul could find peace then the unity can reside. We have to allow time for the development. We have to invest life force, especially if we've already done it wrong for so long. We have to invest life force to liberate our life force. And so the more time we spend getting to know the truth, the self, the soul, the wisdom, the Torah, the ancient teachings, the spiritual, the spirit, all these angels are going to guide us not only in this world, but even after we leave the world. Everything we learned about the external world, not only will it not guide us in the world to come, but even in this world it creates an obstacle. If it's meaningless, it's a waste of soul. It's a waste of life force. It's a spirit that's going to be useless to its owner. And a useless spirit is a burden. It still gets involved in everything, even though it shouldn't. And all these are mirrors. Everything that we have reacted to life, it's not us. It has very little to do with us. It's a mirror of the environment. All our experiences are just mirrors of an unhealthy environment. And so it doesn't really show us who we are. It doesn't show a true face of the divine. And so even though the one experiencing it is divine, he doesn't see himself as divine. And so he's not experiencing the divine because he's mirroring something that is not divine, something that is man-made, something that is unwell. And so to awaken the divine is to return to the soul, to heal the soul. And then we see the divine within the soul. This is the nature of prophecy. And prophecy was, even in times of severe danger or when things were not going in the right way, once a prophet could prophesy, then he can enter that state under all kinds of conditions. After we have lost the ability to feel safe, we've also lost the ability to prophesy. But once someone gets into the level of prophecy, then no danger will ever repress his spirit. The divine spirit is beyond anything that can take place with the body. It has very little concern for the body because it's very close to the one who creates bodies all the time. To her, it's reasonable. Creating a body is just part of the natural order for the divine spirit. Every day, new divine spirits animate new bodies, and the world goes on. The previous divine spirits that are still in the bodies are still animating the bodies. This is just part of this production. This is not something distant or far, like in the human mind. And so the divine spirit resides in a healthy heart. Leiftor Broly, create for me a pure heart. Then you can renew in me an accurate spirit, the divine spirit. If the heart is not well, where will the divine spirit reveal itself? It's there, it's giving life, but the heart is not well enough to appreciate what that means. And so the Holy Spirit is in hiding. And who will take care of the body in the meantime? The less Holy Spirit. One that doesn't know the full story. One that doesn't get so excited about the fact that something is giving him life. So let's return to the safety of our own soul, because then we can heal our hearts. If we heal our hearts, then the divine spirit can reside in us. The divine spirit heals all our wounds, all our fears. The divine spirit is only afraid of the source. The divine spirit is not afraid of any manifestations. They're all her manifestations. And so once our heart is healed, then we have divine protection. Then we are in a different state. We interact with the world differently. We're much less concerned with what's happening to our body and much more concerned with what's happening to our soul. This is how we see humans do wonderful things. They manifest for themselves a name that lasts for thousands of years. That name is just a dress. It's a garment that covers a spirit, a magnificent spirit that was revealed within a heart that prepared itself. Come back to your soul, to heal your heart, to remember yourself, not the things you've seen and not the things you've heard. The one that's there when you see and when you don't see. To refocus your attention on that one. Because from that one come all the others, all experiences, everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever heard was interpreted by that one. The whole story, the whole context, the background, the storyline, all him, just him, sitting right there with you, so available. That power that dwells in our hearts and that reveals its intelligence in our brains. That's where we're safe. That's the one that gave us our body. That's the one that's been balancing our body and keeping us. Not the thoughts in the brain. The one that gives life to the brain, the one that creates the thought, not the actual thought, not the way that we thought, all that was off. But the power that gives us thought, oh, that's real. And that's who you are. You're not the thought. You're not your productions. You're not your words. There's a ray of your light in all those things. But the ray of your light is not you. So return to you so that you can remember your light. And there's the opening for the unity. From there, if we go deeper into there, if we realize the depth of this unity, not just for ourselves, so as individuals, each individual is only one, and all his productions are not separate from him, but they're also not him. And so if we go deeper with that, we will realize that the same goes for all individuals as a collective. All individuals as a collective, they are not separate from him, and yet they are not him. And then there's the one that is. And only he is, and everything he is, and everything that was and will be. There is no room for anything else. There is no where. There is no time. Just the brain can imagine. The brain can imagine. The brain is always imagining. That's the danger. We return to the soul. The soul is beyond the brain. The soul lives in all the organs. The soul is responsible for all their productions. The soul has access to all their dimensions. The soul is the space for those dimensions. And then within the soul there's a soul. And that soul is the soul of all. And all will surrender to that soul. All will remember that soul. And those who are not capable will perish, so that that soul can reclaim what always was and always will be his. Not only is it his, it is him. Everything that is him. He is not revealed in everything that is. And yet, it's him that dressed up as that. Only him. There can be no one else. And as we return to soul, we reveal his light. The revelation of his light will make himself revealed. It will make him reveal himself by removing all those who cannot realize that they are him, who cannot behave in a way that is suitable for him. And that's called Moitzi Chama min Artika. He removes the sun from the vessel that was covering it. And so now he is him, but there is a cover. He is him, but we keep that information in the vessel. It's not revealed. We don't feel it. But then he will remove the sun from the cover, and everyone will know. And those who can't get along will have a big problem for 1 second. Then they won't have any problems. Because this is his home. When he comes home, everyone who is not him is going to have to leave. And on that we say, V'hoya Hashem lemelech al kol ha'oretz. B'yoyim hahu yiyeh Hashem echad, yishmo echad. Then he will be one, and also the way we know him will be one. All souls will know him. All souls will know what we are referring to and the importance of what's being discussed. They will understand how close this is to them, because there will be no boundaries, there will be no coverings, there will be no illusions to hide under. And then humanity will be free, free from illusion, free from their own misunderstandings. And all hearts will heal. And no heart will ever be offended ever again. And then we will experience what has never been experienced by any human being on this planet before. There was never a collective that was ready for that experience. Like now, humanity is becoming ready. We're becoming ready because we've exhausted everything outside, and we have found that it cannot feed us life. It took us a long time to try to find a model of how we're going to sustain ourselves based on the external world, and we've come to the conclusion that it's impossible. We're going to have to make peace with our soul. There's no other way. There's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. And if we make peace with our soul, the wonder of the greatness that awaits, the pleasure that we're going to experience in our bodies and in our souls, cannot be described in words. They've never been envisioned. The highest states of bliss that was experienced by the prophets doesn't give even a taste. Because the world, the soul of the world, is going to awaken. It's like if the world is now in a bad mood, imagine the world when it's really in a good mood, but not just a good mood for a silly reason, but a deep spiritual realization. And the soul of the world is smiling. The soul of the world is shining with grace. This is the nature of life. This is the tradition that we have inherited, the understanding of the soul, the inner workings. Not what we see is the reality, no. This is just one state of the soul. The soul is a kind soul. The soul is a generous and a gracious soul. This is why we have what we have. And the soul is patient. The soul the collective soul is patient with the individual souls. Sometimes it might seem to us too patient. So when we return to the individual soul and we heal the heart so that the individual soul can heal and return and reside within the body, then we are prepared to unite with the collective soul. And this brings light to all the worlds. This heals the collective heart. This heals the collective soul. This builds Yerushalayim, so that the Shekhinah can come reside amongst us. The Shekhinah is the revelation of the collective soul. And so let's return to our souls. Let's return to our heart. Let's try to heal the heart from the illusion, from the fear, from the suffering. Let's try to renew the heart, to remember ourselves, to remember the soul. So that we can help the Shekhinah liberate herself, so that we can allow the collective soul to finally overcome all those who deny her, so that she can reign, so that there can be freedom, so that there can be peace, so that there can be spiritual joy that brings life to the entire universe.